Boys, it is rainy, it is windy, it is cold, it is leg day, and I freaking love it, bro. I got a smile on my face, I'm all giddy because I'm excited. And it's like you could almost trick yourself into thinking that you're excited by just simply saying it, which is crazy to think about. Is like, why am I giving power over, saying that I feel this way or I don't feel that way, right? It's not making anything better. And so if I were to just go into this situation with a smile on my face, it's almost as if I'm convincing myself that this is actually something I'm excited for. Like, I am looking forward to going to the gym when it's rainy, when it's windy, when it's difficult, because this is when it truly counts, right? Glory in these times, because I know that very few people are actually going to be doing it as well. And when very few people do it, that's how you know you're on the right path. Look at the wind. Oh shit. Yo, it's flipped inside out. So let's do it.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Alright boys, so we just got back from the gym, just finished a leg day. It was snowing, it was windy, it was cold. I had to walk to the gym, right? And it was leg day. But honestly, those things excite me. You know, and obviously this is from a smaller scale example, right? From just, because at the end of the day, it's just me commuting to the gym and training legs. But if you were to just view every other circumstance, view every other situation that you're in with that same mindset of telling yourself that you're excited, it's just crazy to see what can actually happen and the attitude of mind that you have, right? Because the truth is, it is the same activity on paper. It's just going to the gym and training legs. But the reason why some people do it and most people fail to do so is because of their attitude of mind, right? And you can change the attitude of mind by reframing and saying that you're excited to do something, right? What benefit is it to you of like highlighting all the downsides to do it and being like, oh, you know, I have to do this, I have to do that, or like, I'm just this person, I'm just that person? There is no benefit to that. And so why would you choose to hold on to things that are going to create barriers and create resistance from you doing the work? And so when you can just reframe it, almost like just trick yourself into thinking that you love doing something, that you're excited to do something, that you're looking forward to do something, it's only for your benefit. There is everything to gain by doing that. And most people would say, oh, that's just lying to yourself. But who's to say that being not excited to do it isn't lying to yourself? And so you could choose one or the other. You know, life doesn't have to be this endless battle of like trudging through and forcing yourself to do it mentally, because mentally, if you're in a spot that enables you to have it flow, enables you to just be pulled through it. Don't get me wrong, it's still going to be difficult, but you're going to have the extra edge, right? The advantage of wanting to do it, of being excited to do it, simply by reframing your mind. Because again, you can only willpower your way through so many situations, but what's going to create the real meaningful change is if it is rooted in identity, rooted in a mentality shift, right? I think about how I got in shape. I think about how I built my physique. And the truth is, it didn't have anything to do with discipline. It didn't have anything. I mean, obviously, discipline did play a role in the instances where I didn't feel like going, or at least when I thought I didn't feel like going, but went anyway. But it was built off of just being so ingrained in my identity that it was automatic. Even back then, when I was like a little twink, right? Like super skinny, I would still see myself as the buff dude because I did a few push-ups at home. I did a few, lateral raises, and then people saw me. They were like, "Yo, you're buff." I look back, and then I'm like, "No, I'm not." But in my mind back then, I viewed myself as that type of person, and as I continued to hold on to that vision, hold on to that version of myself, as a result, I was being pulled in that direction. And so it's not even the fact that you are working your way up to worthiness. It's almost as if you have to start with the delusion that you are a type of person before you technically become the type of person on paper, right? Because every sign in the world back then was like, bro, you're skinny, you're out of shape, you have nothing going for you. And yet, mentally, I was in a completely different spot. So none of the things that you have accomplished up to this point really matter. What truly matters is where you are mentally. Because again, you may miss out on the reward simply because you're not in the right spot mentally. It can be hard for people to feel proud of themselves because they are not in the right spot mentally. You can work your way up to worthiness or do all these things for the Lord and miss out on a blessing in simply not seeking it out. You will find exactly what it is that you are looking for. Right? You will find exactly what it is that you are looking for. Seek and you will find. If you are seeking out the reward, right, then you will see it, right? A lot of people are waiting for a reward. Little do they know they are living in it. But the reason why you are not experiencing it is because you are not actively searching for it. But if you are searching for it and being in the state of gratitude of like, you know what? I'm going to take a step back and I'm seeing all the great things that are going for me, right? Like, bro, I was blessed with this opportunity or blessed with that opportunity, right? Or what a privilege to be able to, be a part of a community. What a privilege to be making progress, to be able to wake up each and every single morning and read the Word of God and train and to maximize the potential that He has given me, right? And so all it takes sometimes is just a reframe, a shift. Because again, I have been hyper consistent, super consistent in doing the inputs every single day, doing the inputs, right? Ticking the box every single day, but I still found it hard to be proud of myself because in a sense, like I was waiting for a reward to come to me. Little did I know I was living in the reward of doing the activity, of growing every single day. And so don't miss out on the reward because you are not actively trying to seek it out. So all I'm trying to say here is, and the whole point of this video is sometimes it takes a shift in your perspective of being able to speak words, right? And I know it sounds woo-woo, but the Bible tells us this. So whatever the Bible tells us isn't woo-woo. The power of the tongue is life or death, and those who love it will eat its fruits, right? Gracious words are like a honeycomb, right? Sweet to the soul, healing to the bones. And so in the same way that you can use your words to build yourself up is the same way you can use your words to destroy you. So just cleaning up your speech, changing the things that you say about yourself, changing the way you describe a situation, right? Because I heard this said in a podcast, I believe, is your words aren't used to describe the situation, they are prescribing the future. And so if you were to continue to plant these seeds, right, to continue to speak victory over your life, right? Even in the book of Ezekiel, right, he saw in a vision, right, this valley of dry bones. And the Lord told him to prophesy to the bones, right? Speak to the bones. And it stood up, right? The bones stood up as a vast army, which came from prophesying, speaking to it. And a lot of people are like, well, just talking about it isn't going to change anything. You may be right, but speaking victory over your life, changing your language is going to change the way your brain works. Because if you are pulled toward a vision, if you are pulled toward the things that we see in our mind, we can change the things that we see in our mind by changing the things we talk about, by changing the way we describe ourselves, by aligning ourselves with the vision that God has given us, aligning ourselves with the identity that the Lord has already given us. It's a small shift in language. It doesn't have to be this trudging through and willpowering your way through the day. It could simply be waking up and being like, I'm excited to work today. I'm excited to go to the gym today. I'm excited to open up the Word and learn more about the Lord, right? To get to know the Lord more. Because why wouldn't you be? If you knew that something was going to benefit you, if you knew that this was going to maximize your potential, and you have yourself and the people around you to be benefited from it, why wouldn't you do it? Change the way you speak. Change the way you see yourself. Change the way you perceive situations. And as a result, your reality will flip itself on its back. and you will finally see through the lens that the Lord has called you to see through. Not to just do the work, but to do so enthusiastically. Not to just show up to the gym, but to be excited to do so, right? It's important to be disciplined, don't get me wrong. But it's even more important to learn to love it, because that's what's going to take you even further than someone who has to constantly force themselves to do something. So, hope that helped.